Yeah, you read the title correctly. That one time Australia went to war with rabbits. No, you're not tripping. I promise you, this is a real thing that happened. To this very day, Australia has beef with rabbits. And this beef goes all the way back to 1859. Of all the animals that they have in Australia, all of these eldritch monsters, these Lovecraftian beings, the species that they choose to go to war with is rabbits. Same country, by the way, that has saltwater crocodiles and these roided up dog things that stand on 2 feet. And don't get me started on the insects, okay? You guys decided to up the switch on rabbits. Those are the ones you want to have beef with everything that you have going on in that country. Before we begin, have you considered subscribing? Your boy's trying to hit 40k. If you haven't considered subscribing just yet, hopefully you have, and you will by the end of the video, okay? Let's get going. But hold on, because this might be valid smoke. Because rabbits in Australia are an invasive species. Invasive species. We've all heard of them, right? Well, for those who haven't, invasive species are essentially a new group of animals pulling up to a new location and running it into the ground. They spread like wildfire, and if left unchecked, they can cause serious harm to a nation's ecosystem. One of the most successful, and when I say successful, I mean they're the best at destroying areas. The most successful invasive species is house cats. Yeah, these little things right here are elite murderers. Listen to me, house cats and feral cats are said to have been responsible for 33 extinctions. 33! These little things are genocidal maniacs. Now, that brings us to Australia. In 1859, this guy right here, Thomas Austin, had the bright idea to bring 24 rabbits to Australia. 24 rabbits from England. Sounds very harmless, right? What could 24 rabbits do? Our boy Tom here decided to release said 24 rabbits into the wild to hunt them. Yeah, to hunt them. Keep that in mind. I'm guessing that this guy, Thomas Austin, the guy who released 24 rabbits into the wild for the sole purpose of hunting them, had similar aim to Stevie Wonder, because the original 24 rabbits, yeah, went on to multiply into the millions. And then by 1920, less than 70 years after these rabbits were introduced into the wild, they had a population of, guess what? 10 billion! So Tom, okay, so you released these 24 rabbits into the wild to hunt them. So what the hell was you doing just running around Australia like a stormtrooper hitting absolutely nothing? Tom, yeah, we are multiple generations apart and I'm disappointed in you. Because how... Did you hunt them at all? Tom, there's no way on God's green earth you was hunting these rabbits because... you just allowed them to multiply into the billions, my brother. What was you doing? Tom, these rabbits, you had 24 rabbits and they turned into 10 billion in less than 70 years, my brother. What was the punishment for that? Because you remind me of that one guy on TikTok who had that frog farm and then they just like multiplied and they didn't stop. Yeah, Tom, just out here doing things that don't make sense. What was the plan here? Bear in mind, these rabbits are in completely new territory. Australia's ecosystem was not prepared, was not ready to handle 10 billion rabbits. So, our guy Tom here created the perfect storm for these rabbits. They have no natural predators. The winters in Australia are mild, so these rabbits are able to breed basically all year round. There's an abundance of land with limited industrial development. There's also natural low vegetation, which provides the rabbits with food and shelter. So these rabbits were getting busy. These rabbits have been turning up, getting lit in Australia for the last 166 years. Australia to these rabbits must look like El Dorado. Since the introduction of these rabbits in the 19th century from Europe, the effect the rabbits have had on Australia's ecology has been devastating. They are believed to be the most significant factor in species loss in Australia. These feral rabbits are competing with natural wildlife, damaging vegetation and degrading the land. Feral rabbits are said to have caused the extinction of several small animals and have contributed to the loss of native plant life. And so, taking all that into account, Australia had to respond. and the war began. In 1887, the Australian government offered a £25,000 reward for any method of success not previously known in the colony for the effectual extermination of rabbits. They were offering people 25k for ideas on how to murk rabbits. Do you understand how deep this situation was? They apparently received 1,456 suggestions, but they were not deemed to be helpful or effective, or even safe. You know what? I would have been throwing out crazy ideas on what to do with these rabbits for 25k, bro. I'd be telling you to do whatever. Well, seeing as there wasn't any new information or strategies or war plans that they could have used to fight these rabbits, they decided to just Second Amendment the situation. The fighting began with trapping and shooting the rabbits. People were effectively farming them, but you have to remember, there was 10 billion of these guys. So the ante had to be upped because these things breed rapidly. They weren't making a dent with these efforts. I've read, or I'm reading right here, that they even tried to put up some fences to protect certain areas from the rabbits, but the fences were unsuccessful because the rabbits were either jumping over the fences or burrowing underneath them. So after trying and failing with a couple methods, they decided to evoke biological warfare. I promise you I'm not joking, look it up. It's out there. Look it up yourself. It happened. In the 1950s, the Australian government released the myxoma virus. I promise you I'm not joking. They released the myxoma virus, and this virus caused myxomatosis. This thing was a roaring success and eliminated 90 to 99% of the infected rabbits, wiping them out almost completely. I say almost completely because some of the rabbits decided to start developing an immunity to this virus and then went back to treating Australia like a resort. Today, apparently around 40% of the current rabbit population is immune to the myxoma virus. And since it worked so well the first time, the Australian government decided to run the same play again, biological warfare. In 1955, the Australian government decided to release the rabbit hemorrhagic disease. I'm going to call it RHD. The Australian government decided to release RHD. This disease wiped out 90% of the rabbit population in certain regions. They used flies to transmit the virus, and I'm guessing flies don't go everywhere, so some rabbits were left unaffected. Oh yeah, and the rabbits are slowly beginning to develop an immunity to that virus as well. I don't know where they got these rabbits from, because why are they just evolving right before our eyes? Because I don't know how to feel about that. So Australia is still dealing with their feral rabbit problem. At the rate they're going, they might produce a breed of rabbits that are immune to everything. Because what do you mean you resorted to biological warfare and the rabbit said, it's cool, we have antibodies though, so work that one out. And that's why I don't believe in Australia. I don't believe Australia is a real place. The animals that they have there are doing way too much. If you're from Australia and you're watching this video right now, you're not real, so I don't know how you're doing that. I don't care what you have to say. You can argue with me in the comment section. You don't exist. You don't exist, because I've seen the fields of spider webs. I've seen the crocodiles, the kangaroos, the everything. You guys are just living in Pandora's box, and now you have this rabbit problem. Every time I hear something about Australia and their animals, it's never chill. It's never normal. It's always the highest of extremes. Are you guys okay in Australia? Australia has gone to war with rabbits, and I had to make a video about it. I learned about this situation the other day, and I thought it was hilarious. So I hope you did too. Other than that, that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time I upload.